Hey y'all, back again with another one. It's your boy Jay with Eclectic Amalgamation. And first I just want to start off with, based on the subject matter today, I think I dressed pretty appropriately, as it were. Thank you. But today we're talking about Twisted Metal, new show that is broadcasting on Peacock. They got all 10 episodes up right now, and I gotta tell you this. Watch it, because honestly it's dope. And for them taking a game from my childhood and grew up loving, I still own Twisted Metal Black, and I still play it every once in a while when I'm feeling nostalgic. They did a damn good job. Sweet Tooth is definitely based on the Twisted Metal Black version. He's got the same, polka dot pants, same mask, everything, even down to the missing eye and to the messed up eye and the hole in the tooth over here on the right side. He does great. Speaking of Sweet Tooth, he is physically played by wrestler Samoa Joe, which is dope because he definitely has the correct build for it. He is voiced by Will Arnett, though, who some of you may know from doing the voice of Batman in the Lego movies. And he does a couple other voices too, but that's the most famous one that he does from those movies. Of course, Will Arnett is known from so many other things, but that's just since we're talking about video games and things like that. Who else? John Doe, who I saw in 7 different articles about Twisted Metal being a show that said John Doe is an original character. He's not. There's literally a video of Anthony Mackie, who is John Doe in the Twisted Metal show, playing Twisted Metal as John Doe the character. He's not a new character. He's just an adaptation, just like the rest. Now, Stephanie Beatrice's character, who she plays there, her real name is never actually revealed, so she goes by Quiet throughout the show. Anthony Mackie just calls her Quiet, and she lets him, so she goes by Quiet throughout the show, which I feel is also another video game reference to the character of Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5. Could be. I feel like it is. Maybe it's not. But let me know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I feel like it is. I feel like it's another video game reference. But yeah, Stephanie Beatrice, who some of you may know from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Some of you may even know her from a couple episodes of The League that she was in. She plays Quiet, who ends up, being the sidekick kind of character. Except she's not really a sidekick, she's more the co-star. She ends up becoming more the co-star with Anthony Mackie, or Anthony Mackie, as me and my brother like to call him, okay? Anthony Mackie, because ain't no hoe in him. But, very good show. Definitely brings the world of Twisted Metal to life, gives it a real world feel, while still maintaining the over-the-top, car crash and collision, chaos, and automobile action. It still has all of that, while bringing some levity and a lot of comedy into it. Definitely expands on Sweet Tooth as a person, not just as the psychopathic killer that we know him from his game. It definitely builds more onto him, goes a lot more into his backstory, how he became who he is. Now, one thing that I'm hoping is going to be touched on more is how Sweet Tooth can set his head on fire, because apparently it's not the first time he's done this. He can set his head on fire but not get burned. I don't know how this works. It looks awesome as shit, just like it did in the games. But I'm wondering if they're going to go into the Twisted Metal Black storyline, which is where the show took a lot of its basis from. But it also drew inspiration from the older games as well. So it's not just strictly based on Twisted Metal Black. It's kind of taking bits and pieces from all over. Instead of using a Calypso of Twisted Metal Black, who is bald with a messed up eye and scarred face and stuff, they're using the older Calypso from the in-between games from the 3 and 4 era, where it's Calypso with the long black hair and the dark suit, and it looks like that dapper, badass demon kind of guy, I think they're using more of him. Or you only see him one time, they show him from the back, but they show, the back of a suit, long black hair. And there's been signs all throughout the show that says, sorry, spoiler warning. There's signs all throughout the show, random in the background, that says Calypso is real and watch out for Calypso, random things like that. So, But I am so excited for the next season that it's going to bother me because it's probably going to be like a year or two, if not longer, for the next season to come out. There's no actual Twisted Metal tournament in the first season. Sorry, spoiler warning. That's not saying that there's not car combat, there's not a bunch of killing and badass stuff, because there is. There is, okay? There really, really is. It's just that the actual tournament that focuses on, who wins, gets the wish from Calypso and everything, that's not going to be happening until next season. I'm not going to ruin everything for you, but I'll tell you this. There are a lot of characters from the video game that definitely make their appearances. There's some new original characters that are put into the game, but for those that have been playing from Twisted Metal 1, like the original Twisted Metal, all the way up through the original PS1 era, up to Small Brawl, Head On, Black, even that actually know about the series, you're going to see a lot of folks thrown in there. Folks that you haven't seen in a while, like Petunia, Pizza Boy, because I legit forgot about both of them for so long, and then they popped up and I'm like, holy shit, it's those two. Like, I haven't, as a kid, Petunia was always one of the weirdest characters. I mean, I know nowadays some people are going to be like, how is that weird? It's just a drag queen. Like, I was a kid, that was weird to me. I'm like, it's a dude, but he's dressed up like a woman and he goes by Petunia. His car is even called drag queen. I don't understand. I was a kid, okay? I get it now. I'm an adult, okay? I know. And I'm being politically correct. There's nothing wrong, okay? There's nothing wrong. I just forgot about Petunia, just like I forgot about Pizza Boy and Outlaw. And honestly, I forgot about quite a few of the random characters they threw in there. But the ones I'm happy are popped up. One, Sweet Tooth, of course. Aiden Stone, who I always liked, except I liked him playing him as playing him on the game because he was awesome. This kid is the fucking Warhol, was dope. But not Warhol. That wasn't Aiden Stone. Did he have Warhol? I can't remember. But Aiden Stone was always cool. I liked being like a cop as a kid, playing as like badass road cops and stuff when I was a kid. But Agent Stone on the show is an entirely different beast. So look into that. Played by the amazing Thomas Hayden Church, who you guys might know as Lyle from George of the Jungle. Lyle. But he's been in so many other things, of course. It's honestly a very well-rounded cast. Even Neve Campbell, famous from the Scream series, she's in it. I'm not sure. Her character's name is Raven, and she does have, long dark hair. But I'm not sure if her character, Raven, is supposed to be the adapted version of Raven who drove the Shadow car in Twisted Metal Black, I believe. I'm not sure if she's supposed to be that same one. Now, Raven in the show is recruiting John to be her driver, to drive for her in the Twisted Metal tournament. If she is supposed to be Raven from the show, I'm assuming her wish in the show is going to mirror her wish, or at least be inspired by her wish from the video game. I'm assuming she would be wishing for, Kelly to be back alive, or back in her life, or, whatever it is, but something that's probably going to have to do with Kelly if she's actually playing Raven from the game, but in the show. They never quite said she was. She also wasn't as gothic as Raven from the video game is, but then again, she's also a lot older, so maybe she kind of, mellowed and changed it up, but still has those same motivations behind the scenes. John Doe, played by Andy Mackey, is not the same John Doe from the video games, who was an undercover FBI agent. Spoiler warnings for those who haven't played the game. That's like, 15 years old now or something like that, probably older. John Doe was an FBI agent that doesn't know about the tournament. Okay? He's never heard of the tournament. He doesn't know that Raven wants him to be her tournament driver. So I think once he figures that out, his wish, of course, is got to be to get his memories back, to know who his family is, where he came from, which is gonna end up happening, I think, anyway, because he has a sister who turns out his sister is playing Dollface. Not the same version of Dollface from the video games, but a character definitely inspired by Dollface. She seems to have a whole gang of Dollfaces with her as well, but she seems to be the main Dollface. She's the leader of the Dollfaces, as it were. So I'm assuming that some of his memories may start to come back once he meets his sister, or at least finds out that he has a sister. Maybe it'll start to jog some things, but I feel like I'm going too deep into the show. But I just gotta say this. One, badass. Okay? It is badass. A lot of the effects are practical. Okay? There's not a whole lot of CGI. This is a lot of real practical effects with real stunt drivers, and it is dope. And like it definitely brings back that old school, real feel of action when you're sitting there watching something. It definitely takes you back to that instead of watching, oh, there's another CGI car and a CGI car and fake bullets and fake missiles. There's a whole lot of practical effects. And of course, they're being safe, but most of what happens on the show is all practical effects, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much, because I feel like that takes a lot more effort and precision and perfection to get it right when you're dealing with practical effects, outside of when you're dealing with CGI, when you can just, I mistimed that, let me just rewind it and fix it, and then I'm done. Not discrediting CGI works or anything like that. You gotta do a lot of good stuff, and a lot of CGI can be very good, and like freaking in Multiverse of Madness, the Illuminati, most of their suits, their superhero suits and everything were actually CGI, and I thought Anson Mounts was completely real. I thought that they just was like, forget it, we're bringing him back, he's gonna be Black Bolt, we're giving him the whole suit. It was all CGI, but damn, did it look good. So excellent work on it. But I'm a big fan of practical effects, and this show has a whole lot of them. Also, Andy Mackie learned how to do a lot of stunt driving, which is really cool. I love when actors actually do their own stunts, like even some that are super dangerous, some that aren't. I love that. It's just dope. Do more, because I wish more actors actually be more involved throughout the whole process instead of just I show up for my scene and then I disappear. Unfortunately, we have some actors like Wesley Snipes, who I feel has grown out of that habit, and I'm glad he has. If he has, I could be wrong. I'll work with him at some point and I'll find out, but I hope he has grown out of that habit of being, that kind of person. But hey, I digress. Twisted Metal, dope show. Excellent idea from Peacock. Very glad that they did this. So happy that they did this. Cannot wait for more. I'm really hoping this isn't one of those projects that, of course, you guys have noticed like the past decade or so. A lot of shows get like a starter season, maybe two, and even though they're very well liked and well received, they get canceled for some reason. Hoping this is not following that trend, because man, this is dope. And I feel like it could go on for multiple seasons, especially with the variety of characters and all their different motivations. Each season, you could actually do like 1 or 2 seasons and then switch main characters, and go from somebody else's point of view. And I mean, very similar to how it would be as a video game. You play through it, beat the game, get through that person's story and ending, and then you play through it from another person's, and it fits within the storyline of the video game and lore of that universe, where that is a yearly tournament. So if you survived but didn't win last year's tournament, you can try again next year. Now, a lot of those folks have died. Okay, if you watch that show, a lot of them folks is dead. But there's some that show I was like, very, very inept though. Stu though, I love Stu's character in this show. It is, I feel like Stu ends up hanging out with Sweet Tooth for a while, and it is hilarious. I mean that wholeheartedly. It is funny as hell. Because you can tell this guy is on the verge of pissing his pants at any moment, because Sweet Tooth could just murder him. And he would not stop. It would not faze him whatsoever. He could just murder him and go right along with his show. And it would be hilarious. But, yeah, lots of little callbacks to the video game universe. If you're one of those fans like I am, I gotta say, just 2 thumbs up. If I had more hands, I'd give you more. But honestly, Twisted Metal from Peacock, all 10 episodes streaming right now. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. If Peacock, if you happen to see this and you want to hit me up, I'm not gonna turn it down. But yeah, not sponsored or anything. But I just really like this show, and I like a lot of the people that are in it, especially, I mean, it's a Twisted Metal show, so it's already from my childhood. It's got Anthony Mackie, who is my boy, Stephanie Beatrice, who I love from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Samoa Joe, who is a wrestler, and I'm a huge wrestling fan, Will Arnett, who's one of my favorite voice actors. Like, come on, man. It's got a lot of stuff in there for me to like, and I feel like I'm not the only one that's in that boat. So, yeah, give it a shot. Tell me what you think. Hit me up in the comments. Drop that like, throw a comment on there, subscribe if you ain't subscribed. I know a bunch of y'all be watching and not subscribing.